So tell me a little about yourself.
I'm going to start by telling you about some of my personal character qualities that I hold at a high standard. Uh, First off, I'd like to talk about being a hard worker. There's many people who feel they work hard. I feel the same. Throughout obtaining my degree, I worked nearly full-time at the facility I work at while maintaining my grades at an extremely high standard. I prioritized my grades over my work because I felt at the time and even now that my grades were going to provide the future, not the current job I have. Another quality I'd speak of is my loyalty. I've been offered 3 or 4 different jobs. Didn't take them for several reasons, but first off, the people I worked for were the first ones to give me the opportunity to try to get me through school, and I felt like I had an obligation to help them out whenever I could, and all the way through school, they've been standing right next to me, even though we've had our differences. They've never once talked of me possibly moving on or trying to find another job, so I felt it was important to be loyal to them as well. I'm a responsible person, even with all the homework and everything else that I'm responsible for doing. I've been the guy for this company for 3 years to order and allocate our resources in a timely manner so that our people can get their job done. Now, it hasn't been the easiest thing in the world, of course, because I'm not there all the time, but everybody's done a pretty good job communicating with me, as have I with them, for us to successfully be able to get our job done. Foremost, the most important character quality I possess and hold myself up to is my dedication. Even throughout studying, life in general, I have made time for work. Anytime there's been overnight call-outs, up until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, I've always put my hand up to go take care of those things, and as I spoke earlier, show my loyalty to the company. That's really important to our business. We go out and meet with customers in the middle of the night to help them solve some of their problems, and I've been a stand-up guy in that scenario. The other thing that shows great dedication is our transition through employees. We're a small company. I've been through a ton of acquisitions and terminations of employees with this company. It's really tough for us because we're as tight-knit group as it is. We only have about 10 people who work for us. So when someone quits, no one really has the spare time to do their thing. So it's up to all of us to come together and get done what has to be done, whether it's in 8 hours, 12 hours, 15 hours, on the weekends. Doesn't really matter. Another thing I hold important is self-sacrifice for the workplace. Nobody wants to work 15 hours in a day, but if that's what you've got to do in order to get the job done, that's what you got to do, I guess, is the best way to put that.
What would you say your strongest weakness is?
There's 2 weaknesses that I feel I have to address in order to become a more well-rounded, not only person, but worker as well. I have a bad habit of taking things that are said to me too personally, not necessarily in attacking other people, but more so in getting my feelings hurt. If someone says I'm not trying hard enough, I don't necessarily take it as a motivator, because I have such pride in my job. I sometimes forget that people are people, and sometimes they say things they don't mean, or they have different meanings in what they're saying than what I portray. My greatest weakness that I have is that I expect everybody to perform and think on the same level as me all the time. This can be a problem in several situations, whether someone isn't mentally capable or they just don't want to. I feel like I have to be able to advance my skills in dealing with people in order to be a better worker and a better manager. It's important to understand that not everyone cares about the purpose of what you're trying to accomplish as much as you do, and you've got to be able to allocate those resources just as well as other resources in order to get the job done.